Well, the president has been pretty much echoing that in a variety of tweets and statements he's been making throughout the weekend, even today, saying that, look at what's been happening around us here. In the old days, if you were president, you had a good economy. You were basically immune from criticism. Remember the economy? Stupid. Well, of course, as the president likes to say, it has been the economy, it has been the markets, but the benefit for him has not been as robust as it is for some of his predecessors who enjoyed a strong economic activity. So what's the fallout? Let's get to Noelle on that. Is it your sense that we're missing something here? The president says, look, I don't get the due credit I'm getting or should be getting. And you and I have raised this before. Normally with an economy like this, markets like this, I could argue the president should be 10 points up in the polls. Some of that's of his own doing, no doubt. But what is going on?
It's himself. I mean, and I don't mean to, I'm a Republican. He's my president. He's our president. But he's almost his worst enemy because he has got such strong policies. He has made good on all his promises. This guy should be over the top with popularity, but it's the lack of maybe humility. It's the over-the-top personality. It's the name-calling. It's, he promised when he was elected that he would be more presidential, and we're not seeing it. We're still seeing the campaign tactics. Look, and I like President Trump's policies, but if you really want me to be honest, as somebody that's in this business, I've got to tell you.
You don't have time for honesty on that. But what do you think of that? There is this disconnect, and the president, always, chafes at this, that he is not getting the same benefit that those who presided over economic comebacks had.
Yeah, I think it's almost, there's no way to argue otherwise. I mean, there's probably somewhere between an 8 and a 10 point, I don't know if premium is the right word, or if you're at 43% on average, which is where the president is this morning in Real Clear Politics, it's hard to argue with an economy as strong as it is, and the power of the incumbency, first term of your party. A lot of articles and studies have been done even the last couple of months about this, that you shouldn't be at least over 50% and set up well for re-election. So I think it sets up an interesting situation for the Democrats because it proves, to Noelle's point, that the other stuff matters. And I think now that we have the actual Mueller report, for the most part, with the exception of the redactions, the other stuff is more than just personality. It's also the actions, in particular with the actions that were taken that were right on the precipice of having obstructed justice. The Democrats now have a decision to make. How do we keep that in the news? Because it obviously helps. It's a political liability for the president, almost unquestionably, without going too far. And a lot of people think impeachment proceedings might be too far.
Might be too far. Not news to those who invest in largely technology stocks that dominate the NASDAQ. It, too, trading intraday above records reached last fall. But, it is interesting, Danielle, this idea that the president isn't getting any bang for the buck, what's happening with all these people making a lot of bucks on the corner of Wall and Broad and the economy and et cetera, and that he's not getting fair treatment. And even when it comes to the Mueller probe, there's a poll out this weekend saying that it is not even on the top 5 issues for American voters. It's not even on the top 20. Now, that could change as more revelations come to light, and that is shared with the American public. But what do you make of it?
Well, just to Noelle's point, when Bill Clinton had the cloud of impeachment hanging over him, he kept saying his drumbeat was, I'm going to work for the American people. I'm just going to go keep working for the American people. Donald Trump is saying that, but what we've seen from the tweets today is there's an enormous amount of anger,
But to be fair, Republicans overplayed their hand, right? And some of the Democratic leadership is concerned the Democrats are doing the same with that.
Right. I mean, they remember what happened to Newt Gingrich in 1998. We had Contract for America in 94. We had 98. Total blowout. The House Republicans really paid the price. This is different. Bill Clinton was obviously private conduct, although the articles of impeachment talked about obstructing justice, trying to get witnesses not to say certain things. Democrats have a difficult decision because I think there's a part of the base that does think that there is a reason we have impeachment, that there is more than enough in 448 pages of the Mueller report to at least consider starting that. And I think Pelosi has to be careful about
But
that.
I will say, to your point, one of the things that I think the Democrats need to be careful of is focusing on impeachment. Bernie Sanders, I do not like his policies whatsoever, but he made a great, valid point by saying saying, let's, the Democratic Party does not need to make the mistake of focusing on impeachment and letting that be their message.
If you completely
health
let
care.
it go, I think what they're thinking is, if you talk to Democrats about it, if you completely let it go, then you're back to what we started with, which is a strong economy, an incumbent president.
You need the noise, don't you? Need that sort of drumbeat.
Well, that's probably what they think, because they don't want the conversation to be, hey, unemployment is as low as it is, the economy is as strong as it is, and the president can use that argument to get reelected. You need something to push back with, and he's given them other things to push back with. I understand your point on personality and tweeting and all the rest, but there's also substance here in the Mueller report that they can use.
One thing I'll add to is the Harvard poll out yesterday, which was a really interesting look into the young voters and what they're looking for. They care about ethics and morality. They don't think that baby boomers care about them. There are concerns about the behavior of the president that are sort of built into this ethics and morality. So I think Democrats have always thought a little bit more about generational responsibility. They need to pay attention to this. This is a third of the voters.
We'll see if the millennials will vote, though. I mean, that's the trick.
We do know the president's
motivate.
approval. I mean, it's just one poll. It's not the real clear, as Connell points out, average of these polls, which is the one you really want to rely on. But it did dip post the Mueller report release and some of the details, not to the extent that impeachment is inevitable, raise questions again about the president.